Hello and welcome back to SAD. And we're going to be doing a console or cinema episode today where I'm going to be watching a movie that needs no introduction. But that's not really fun to just jump into it, so you're getting an introduction anyway. Batman wasn't always as awesome as he is right now. In fact, in 1966, he was a little bit more of a goof. A little weird and crazy, but still a movie any comedy or Batman fan should watch for sure. But that would soon change in 1986 with the release of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. This is really when Batman gets his grit.
You don't get it, son. This isn't a mud hole. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
And in 3 short years after that, we were given this. The 1989 Batman, directed by Tim Burton, with very clear influences from Frank Miller. And, I don't want to get too far into it before we watch it, so let's pop this bad boy in and watch some freaking Batman! One thing about this movie I appreciate is that Tim Burton knows you already know Batman's origins, and he reminds us without having to show it to us straight up. Just hints at it. I mean, Batman has been around since 1939. We all know his story by now. Oh. Wow, that ended fast. Okay, let's... Oh, no, he's fine. He's fine. He's Batman. He's fine. For a bit after the first Batman fight, we stay with the rest of the cast for a while. Learning about Knox, the writer, trying to learn about the Bat, Vicky Vale, photographer, also trying to catch a glimpse of the Bat, and we meet Jack Napier, a gangster that is trying to get rid of Harvey Dent, who is starting to crack down on the mob. And one of the final nails in the coffin to connect these two is Access Chemicals. Jack has the idea to break into Access Chemicals and take all of the files that would tie the two together, bringing us to the making of the Joker.
Bruce Wayne.
Well, I'm not sure.
We finally see Bruce Wayne himself in the mansion, throwing a charity casino of some sort. After which, we see some of Bruce's unparalleled tech, the VHS tape! We get a healthy serving of gunfights before we see Batman again. Then, while fighting Batman, Napier falls into the chemicals that changes him. Then, we witness the turn from Napier to the Joker. Not gonna lie, there's a lot of stuff that happens after this. And it's all important character stuff. But since I've seen the movie before, this part just feels like it drags on and on before the action picks back up. When it does, we learn that Joker has been poisoning products in Gotham that can kill you in the same way the Joker gas kills people in the animated series. A couple of scenes later, and Batman gets shot again! Then we get to see some fighting. Woo, sweet. Yeah. Just after this, Batman figures out what products the Joker tainted, and has Vicky Vale tell the press so people can stop dying. A little bit shortly after this, we see some more character building, and then Bruce versus the Joker. Yeah.
Let me tell you about this guy.
In my opinion, this whole scene was handled very well, showing just how creepy and possessive the Joker is, and how Bruce himself is just a little touched in the head, showing that these characters are multi-layered instead of just straightforward bad or good. That's 3 different times in this movie now. Batman needs to learn to bob and weave or something. But before that, the Joker says,
"You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?"
which comes into play later, just like Martha!
Why did you say that name?
That's the wrong movie though. Let's get back to this one. Then, the Joker challenges Batman mano a mano, while promising to just give away $20 million in the city at midnight. Then, we are treated to a little bit of Batman's backstory, which covers the parts that we already know.
You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?
Oh, snap! It was Joker that killed his parents. That's freaking brilliant! It ties both Batman's origins and the story that's happening on screen into one story. This is how you do it, man. I'm loving this. Loving it. Batman has put 2 and 2 together, and now he's freaking pissed. At the same time, Joker is giving away all the money in downtown Gotham, which makes this the perfect time to talk about Joker's kill count. At this point in the movie, there have been 42 kills.
Smells like gas. He's going to kill everybody.
After this, who knows how many people the Joker has killed. I feel bad guys in comic movies now aren't allowed to be as bad, but it really drives home just how psychotic the Joker is. Bats and Joker go at it for a good couple of minutes. Bats has to fight off a couple of more goons, and then goes all sorts of savage on the Joker. There's some back and forth, then Joker falls to his death. Wow. It's been a couple of years since I've watched this movie beginning to end, but I gotta say, it is damn good. And they have the proper amount of character build to action, so it never really gets boring in between. And the music is hit or miss. The Danny Elfman stuff, classic. Always. But the random songs that they got to fill in these weird parts, what, like they couldn't have spent a little bit more money to get hits? What the hell is this?
King in town. Young and old.
And Gotham City itself looks amazing. I love the combination of gothic and industrial for the buildings. So I'm definitely going to be looking for that in the game. And as far as bad guys go, really all we need is some goons and the Joker, which shouldn't be hard to live up to. But let's find out. I have the NES version of this game. There are also versions on the Sega Genesis and Game Boy. Maybe I'll try those other versions at some later date. The NES game was produced by Sunsoft and released in February of 1990, and it's based on the movie. But the text in the beginning of the game takes you all the way to like the last 40 minutes of the movie. Cool. Skipping all the build up and getting straight to the fighting. Yeah! Batman plays a lot like Ninja Gaiden. There are enemies that run right at you, shoot at you, and random things that come at you from nowhere. And you can wall jump to get to higher places. Batman has 4 weapons. Batarangs, spread batarangs, a freaking gun, and the deadliest weapon of them all, Batman himself, which is a punch, and it is totally kick-ass. Before you know it, you're fighting the first boss, Killer Moth. He's a very easy fight though. He swoops down to hit you a couple of times, then shoots a spread shot from one of the top corners. Use one of the 3 weapons Batman has, and you could take him down fast enough without getting touched. That looks pretty familiar. The next level starts, and you're hanging in the sewer. And the first enemy you see is the freaking Predator? Oh, I think it just looks like it. This level isn't about the enemies though. It's all about the environmental dangers. This is the start of the crazy levels killing you just as much as the villains, ranging from deadly goo, cogs, and electrified platforms. The boss to this level is not what I was expecting. It's a robot, and you just need to take it out piece by piece. Again, not too hard. The third level looks just like any other, until they unlock the gates of hell that are these new enemies. They are so freaking unfair. Oh, come on, man. What? Ah, crap. Ah, yeah. Just get away. Ah. Oh, just get him off screen. Just get him off screen. Oh, crap. No, come on. For real? This is ridiculous. I'm happy they weren't in the movie, or Batman would have just died and never got his revenge, because these guys are frickin' dicks. Which brings up a good point. Batman is luckily a game that gives you as many continues as you need to make it to the end. And this level is the start of me needing the continue screens. A lot. Later in the level, you run into even more robots, and they're hard as hell to kill. This game is trying to make me quit, but I won't. Finally, I make it to the third level boss, and I'm told it's the Executioner, but he looks more like a guy straight out of Mad Max. Who am I to say? Either way, you could beat him by just throwing a couple of batarangs. The fourth level seems like the developers just started throwing things into it as long as there was space. It's freaking crazy. When you make it to the boss, things don't get any easier either. For being 2 blocks, they are hard as nails. They take a ton of damage and they dish it out too. The only way I could find to beat these guys was to place myself between these 2 pieces and just jump over and over while throwing endless batarangs the whole time. It took about 2 minutes before even the first one blew up. It doesn't sound like that long, but when every boss before this only took about 20 seconds to beat completely, 2 minutes felt like forever. Luckily, the second form of the remaining block is super easy to take out. It again only took me about 20 seconds. After you beat the Happy Trigger blocks, Batman flies the Batwing to the base of the tower the film ends in. The 5th and final stage starts like the others, but it quickly turns into a platforming nightmare. They have traps throughout the level. You have to time your jumps perfectly, and even if you do, there's normally an enemy at the top to ensure that you lose at least 1 health. Then there are these beauties. You literally can't make it past without hurting yourself. This level is totally designed to make sure you do not reach the end. But once you do, it is a real pain. Firebug is the boss, and he is quick and extremely hard to get any kind of pattern down. He will lunge at you seemingly out of nowhere while constantly shooting fireballs that are extremely hard to dodge. Yes! Finally! Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what the last stage is going to be like if this isn't the last one. Whoa, holy crap! I wasn't ready for a boss yet. Jump! Jump! Alright, here it is. Bats versus the Joker. Fighting the Joker is tough. You have to be fast. Each time he shoots, it takes away 3 health, so avoiding those is key. The lightning he calls down is easy enough to dodge. You just have to stay close to the Joker. Which is good, because staying close to the Joker is the only way I've found to kill him. If you just stay at the end of Joker's pistol, you can avoid the lightning and even his gunshots when you're lucky. Yeah, suck it, Joker! freaking beat you. Oh my. Man, I need a turbo controller for the next time. That's ridiculous. Oh, snap. There he goes. Just throwing Joker off of the really tall tower. This is a pretty brutal ending for an NES game. I was expecting them to tone it down at least a little bit. Alright, so a good movie and a challenging and fun game. I'm having a hard time figuring out what to do. I guess I'll talk about each of them and see if I can pick one after breaking them both down. Batman, directed in 1989 by Tim Burton, is an amazing movie. I love the amount of character building and the pacing with the action. Another great thing about it is that Batman isn't just about Batman. It's as much about the Joker and the other supporting characters as it is about Batman. The only problem I have with it is a lot of the fluff that's in the middle of the movie. And to be honest, most of the stuff involving Vicky Vale is just boring. Not a perfect movie, but definitely a good one. I think Batman has earned an 8 out of 10. Batman the video game, developed by Sunsoft and released in 1990, is a freaking fun video game, and it balances perfectly between fun and difficult. I just wish some of the easier bosses were actually harder to beat, because amidst all the crazy levels and the very hard bosses, they feel pretty out of place. Plus, the traps that are put into the levels with literally no way around them is very cheap. But overall, a very enjoyable video game, and I think Batman the video game earns an 8 out of 10. So, I'm a little conflicted because I don't know what to do. I was expecting to blow something up or at least shoot at something today, but I like them both. Really, all I can say is if you have the time to both play and watch Batman, you should definitely do it, because they are both very entertaining. Thanks everyone again for coming by and watching another one of my videos. If you like what you've seen today, go ahead and subscribe, or just click one of these playlists and watch a little bit more. Shoot, you might even like all the stuff that I do. That's a stretch, I know, but I'd appreciate it.